Hey everyone, Aladar back for another World of Warcraft Legion class preview. This is part of my series that I'll be doing on each class as they announce them on the World of Warcraft site. This video will be on the Paladin, and there is a couple of significant changes to this class that I believe will overall improve the gameplay of the class. The first major one that you'll notice is that they are getting rid of Holy Power. Holy Power is something that I did not like as soon as they brought it in. They are getting rid of it for Holy and for Protection Paladins, but you are still going to have it for Ret Palis. We'll get into that in a bit. Overall, I like the changes to Paladin. I think that they're going to they're making changes to each spec to kind of give them their own unique flair, and I'll get into that when we start. So let's start off with Holy Paladin. The Holy Paladin, like I said, they're going to get rid of Holy Power, and what they envision for the Holy Paladin is to have it more of a frontline healer. We've seen this in other games, but they've never really been a frontline healer in World of Warcraft. They usually end up standing in the back, and then you're sitting there wondering, well, why are they wearing plate? Like they're standing in the back with the rest of the healers are never really up front. Well, now they're bringing the Holy Paladin, and they're moving them onto the front lines. Essentially, they're giving them a mastery ability where they do more healing the closer to the person that they're healing. So it's going to encourage the paladins to actually be right on the front line, casting their insta-cast heals that are suddenly going to do a tremendous amount of healing, as well as their other heals as well. So they don't have to worry so much about being in the mix of it, because they'll be healing for a lot more health as well. So let's get into it. For the talents, that's one of the reasons why they got rid of Holy Power, is because of the restrictions that it caused. So instead of having to wait for Holy Power to build up, now there's just a recast timer on many of your abilities. So that's the major change for Holy Paladin. If you're new to World of Warcraft, like my other videos, this will be a lot of new information for you. If you're an experienced World of Warcraft player, a lot of this is going to be stuff that you already know or you're already familiar with just a few major or minor adjustments or changes to the class. So Holy Light, it's a ranged heal. Slow but efficient spell, healing for friendly target for a moderate amount. Flash of Light is basically healing for the same amount, but it casts a lot quicker, but it's costs more mana as well. Light of the Martyr, it sacrifices a moderate amount of your own health that you can then transfer to your, and it's an instant cast that you can transfer to your target. So it's an instant cast, and you transfer your health to that of your target. Light of Dawn, 1.5 second cast, 12 second recast. Unleash a wave of healing energy before you, healing up to 5 injured allies within a 15-yard frontal cone for a moderate amount. Again, it's going to be one of these frontline abilities where you've got to be within 15 yards of the other players, so you got to be relatively close. Holy Shock now is instant with a 10-second cooldown. Instantly triggers a burst of light on the target, dealing moderate holy damage to an enemy or moderate healing to an ally. Holy Shock is double the normal crit chance, so you're going to be able to stand right up close and do these insta-casts. I don't know if the cooldowns are going to be reduced with Holy Shock, if there's a way to get instant Holy Shocks, but anyways. Infusion of Light is passive. It's your Holy Shock criticals reduce the casting time of your next Holy Light by 1.5 seconds, or increasing the healing of your next Flash of Light by 50%. So again, it's boosting your healing ability or how fast you can heal people. Beacon of Light, this is the same as it's always been. You can place a Beacon of Light on yourself or anybody else in your party. Your heals on the other party or raid members will also heal the Beacon of Light target for up to 50% of the amount healed. Your Flash of Light and Holy Light on the Beacon of Light target will also refund 40% of their mana cost. Mastery Lightbringer, this is kind of interesting. Proximity to your, this is what actually defines now the Holy Paladin, what encourages you to move up to the front lines. Proximity to your targets causes your spells to heal for up to 30% more than they normally would. So if you're right up close, they're going to heal for 30% more. So those insta-casts are going to hit for 30% more healing. Additionally, here's a holy specific talent that they're giving out for us right now. Beacon of the Lightbringer, it's a passive. The maximum bonus from Mastery Lightbringer is increased by 24%. So it now increases your healing based on the target's proximity to either you or your Beacon of Light, whichever is closer. So it increases it even an additional 24%. So suddenly it's doing like 54% more healing. You can expect that if you're a Holy Paladin, you're going to be able to heal for a tremendous amount if you're on the front lines of the battlefield or with people that you're trying to heal. It's going to be a little awkward though, like if you're supposed to be healing healers and they're suddenly in the back, you're not going to heal them for as much. But if you're right up in the mix of it, you're going to be, with all the melee classes and stuff like that, you're going to be healing for a lot more. Protection, again, they get rid of Holy Power, which is great for protection spec. I played protection spec for a little while just to try it out. They got rid of Holy Power, which helps you with your rotation and overall playability of the spec, I believe. What I am actually hoping is that possibly you'll be able to even bring protection spec into PvP, perhaps. Highly unlikely, but we'll see. So the defensive abilities that you've got, Shield of Righteousness, it's a melee instant cast with 12-second recharge, but you've got 3 charges on it. So you can instantly stun the target with your shield, causing huge holy damage. And reducing the damage you take by 25% by 4.5 seconds. So you're doing a good amount of damage, and you're absorbing a ton of damage as well. Like you're not, you're just able to take a ton of damage. Light of the Protector, it's an instant 15-second cooldown. Calls down light to heal yourself for 50% of your missing health. So I guess you could get down to like almost dead. Use one of this. And then hopefully by the time you're almost dead again, it's 15 seconds and you can keep using it. So it's a great way to keep healing yourself. That's actually going to be nasty. I fiddled with playing a Protection Paladin in PvP just for shits and giggles. And it would take a long time for people to kill me. Like 15 seconds I would be able to stay alive for against a group of people. So I'd be able to keep using that. That's crazy. Redoubt is a passive. Your auto attack critical strikes cause you to gain a charge of Shield of Righteousness or Light of the Protector, so that's great. You can keep using it over and over again. Mastery is Divine Bulwark. Your mastery is Divine Bulwark. This increases the damage of your Shield of Righteousness by 10% with mastery from your gear, and increases the chance to block melee attacks by another 20% based on mastery from your gear. Also increases your attack power by 20%. So you're going to be doing more damage with a lot of mastery. So that's pretty good. And you're going to be taking a lot less with mastery as well. So here's your offensive abilities. Avenger Shield. It's on a 15-second cooldown. Hurls a shield at the enemy at an enemy target, dealing strong holy damage, interrupting and silencing the target for 3 seconds. That's awesome. And then jumping to 2 additional nearby targets. I wonder if it still does the same amount of damage or if it's reduced. Also increases the effect of your next Shield of Righteousness or Light of the Protector by 20%. Wow, so you'll be doing 20% more on both of those abilities. Hammer of Righteousness, melee range, insta-cast, 3-second charge, 2 charges. Hammer the current target for moderate physical damage. If you are standing in your consecration, Hammer of the Righteousness also causes a wave of light that hits other targets within 8 yards for minor holy damage. So it sounds like you're going to want to be taking consecration and always have it underneath of you, not the one where you can range it or whatever. Anyways, that's just a minor difference. Grand Crusader, it's a passive. When you avoid a melee attack or use Hammer of the Righteousness, you have a 15% chance to refresh the cooldown of Avenger's Shield. That's pretty cool. Then you can use Avenger's Shield over again and get the bonus to those 2 abilities. All right. So anyways, excuse me. Judgment, it's a 30-yard range, instant 6-second cooldown. Judge an enemy dealing strong holy damage, so I'm wondering you'll probably still be able to stun them as well. Possibly get the running buff too. We'll have to see how they change talents and stuff. Consecration, we already know what that is. It's the same skill that you've already got. Consecrate the land beneath you, causing strong holy damage over 9 seconds to enemies who enter the area. So anyways, your protection specific talent that they've given out is Blessed Hammer, or Blessed Hammer. Instant 3-second recharge with 2 charges. Throw a divine hammer that spirals toward over from the paladin, dealing moderate holy damage to enemies that pass through it. So it just kind of goes through a bunch of enemies, and it replaces Hammer of the Righteousness. Okay. The next one that we're going to go to is Retribution, and a lot of people didn't like the way Retribution Paladins were playing, particularly PvPers. They weren't very strong. Anyways, they've made some changes here. Retribution Paladins are actually going to continue using the Holy Power. I don't know why they made it. Well, the reason why they're going to keep using it is because they have abilities where they get stronger and stronger with Holy Power, and they also use the Holy Power to burst enemies down. So that's why they're going to continue to use it. If we they also suggested that they want to make Holy Paladins more of a melee class, like where they're face to face, whereas right now it feels like they're casting a lot of range spells at people, and it almost feels like they're a ranged class. So they want them to actually be right up in their face. So they've made some minor changes to that. So they're going to be doing a lot of damage right up close, and have some of the long range stuff taken away, so they're not standing back and just casting spells. Anyway, so Crusader Strike, we all know what that is. Instant strike causes moderate physical damage. See, it's generating 1 holy power, so you got to make sure you keep track of that. Blade of Justice, instant. I believe Blade of Justice is new. It's on a 12-second cooldown. Strikes an enemy with the Blade of Justice, dealing strong holy damage and generating 2 holy power. So you can do a Crusader Strike, Blade of Justice, and immediately you've got your 3 holy power already. Judgment, insta-cast, 12-second cooldown. There'll probably be talents to reduce that a little bit, I would think. Judge an enemy, dealing moderate holy damage and causing the target to take 30% increased damage from your holy power generators and consumers for 6 seconds. So it sounds like you're going to want to do Judgment, and then you're going to want to do Blade of Justice, and then Crusader Strike, just so that you've got your 3 holy power, and then you got an increase of damage from using your Judgment beforehand. So that's kind of handy. And then you'd want to swing into Templar's Verdict, which is 3 holy power, melee range, instant. So that's using the 3 holy power that you just generated, and it's a powerful weapon strike that deals massive holy damage. So there you go. There's your rotation right there. Judgment, Blade of Justice, Crusader Strike, Templar's Verdict. Rinse and repeat over and over again. Or there's also Divine Storm, which is an AoE. It's a whirl of divine energy, dealing strong holy damage to all energy within 8 yards. So if you're trying to burst down a target, you're going to use Templar's Verdict. If you're in an AoE situation, Divine Storm. Conviction, it's a passive. Your Crusader Strike and Blade of Justice have a 20% chance to generate 1 additional holy power. So there you go. You could generate possibly 5 holy power by hitting these 2 abilities. Mastery, your mastery is Hand of Light. Your Crusader Strike, Blade of Justice, Divine Storm, and Templar's Verdict deal 45% additional holy damage. If you've got maximum, if you've got maximum mastery, you can deal a ton of damage with these abilities and be very bursty very quickly. So, additionally, your Retribution specific talent that they're giving away is called Lothar's Might. It's a 30-yard range, insta-cast, 30-second cooldown. Flings a blade of holy light to the target location. Now listen to this. This is really interesting. Reactivating will teleport the paladin to the blade and strike nearby enemies for moderate holy damage. Replaces Hand of Hindrance. So you're basically going to be able to teleport yourself to another location to get on top of your enemies. That's super cool. That's pretty neat for paladins. So hopefully you paladins out there are pretty psyched about the changes to paladin. I've got a level 100 paladin. It's not my main, but I find the ones to these couple of changes to Ret and the ones to Holy sound quite interesting actually. So I'm looking forward to playing those. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and also on twitch.tv/Aladar. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.